Hey there, podcast listeners. Are you ready to take your game day to the next level? I'm excited to announce that I've partnered with SeatGeek as their newest brand ambassador. That's right, I'm officially royally quacking about this awesome collaboration. SeatGeek is your go-to platform for finding the best deals on your tickets to all your favorite events. From concerts to sports, they've got you covered. And as a special thank you to my listeners, use code Royally Quacked. That's right, you can use it in all caps, Royally Quacked, for $20 off your first SeatGeek order. So what are you waiting for? Grab your friends, score some awesome tickets, and go make some unforgettable memories together. Thank you for SeatGeek for making it happen.
It's time again for your favorite podcast, Kings and Ducks fan. It's time for Royally Quacked.
Woo!
Where he's quacked, and I'm
he's
royally
spoiled.
Yeah, well, yeah. Talk about spoiled.
Oh,
How's it going, Cody?
I'm doing good. Another week, another stressful week, and I'm not talking about work.
Oh, what are we talking about?
Oh, I think we'll find out later.
Oh,
okay. Yeah.
So we want to start off with what?
Oh, do you have a trivia question? That's a no. Okay, so we'll move on to Ducks news.
I'll work on one while
fine.
you're doing Ducks news.
Okay. All right, real quick, I want to give a Gulls update for you guys. After 10 games, the Gulls are... Actually, let me pull up the standings. And I just had it up. Anyway, I'll bring it up in a second, but so far the Gulls have played 10 games, but they've only played 3 games at home. They started off the season away at the Toronto Marlies, and they lost both those games. The first game they lost was 4-3, and then 4-1. Then they came kind of near home, but they went to, or actually no, they were home against the Coachella Valley Firebirds, and they lost this one 5-6. So far they're 0-3 in the season. Then they're away at Bakersfield, and they win this one 3-2 in overtime. And then they play the next 4 away. Where the first 2 they were in Abbotsford, they lost the first game 3-1, then won the second game 4-1. Then they moved to Calgary, where they play the Wranglers, and they lost both those games 4-3 and 6-2. And they come back home against the Abbotsford Canucks and lost the first game 1-3. 1-3, and then they won the second game 6-4. I can say it's probably been a very stressful season for the Gulls. They haven't really looked too well so far. Let me see. Let me pull up the standings real quick. They are right now second to last in the Pacific Division. Only the Henderson Knights are the worst team. So the Gulls right now are 3-7. Not a good way to start, I would say, but they got a lot. They're a pretty young team so far, so can't really get too mad about that. Let's see. It doesn't pull up the stats for my team. Let's see if I go to the Gulls. Team stats. Let's see who's the standouts so far for the Gulls. So far, Jansen Harkins. Let's see. He has 13 points in 9 games with 3 goals, 10 assists. Sam Colangelo, 6 goals, 3 assists with 9 points in 10 games. Roland McEwen has 8 points He has 4 goals and 4 assists. Carson Meyer has 7 points with 3 goals and 4 assists. And Ryan Carpenter also has 7 points with 2 goals, 5 assists. And the Pavel Regenda Agenda with 7 points as well, with 1 goal and 6 assists. So that's for the whatchamacallit, the forwards. Let me look at the goal. I'll see how the goalies are doing. Oh, it doesn't want to pull up the goalies for me. But well, that was just a quick recap on the goals. I'll try to do it like every month or so, or every 10 games for the goals. Oh, here we go. Goalies. Here we go. So the goalies so far, Callie Kling is 2-5 with a 2.62 goals against average, and Oscar Dance is 1-2 with a 4.83 goals against average. Callie Kling has a 904 save percentage, and Dance has a 861 save percentage. So hopefully things can get a little bit better there for both of them. It's still like a young team there, so hopefully they start gelling pretty quick because they have a good team there. They do. I think they just need to work together as a team. So hopefully the goals will start getting better and hopefully make a push to the playoffs this year. So that's it for the goals update. Next bit of news. Gibson has returned. He was in the lineup as of Saturday morning last night against the Wild. He was the backup goalie, so he was in the lineup. He just didn't play because Dostal's been the man. He's number 1, but Gibson has returned, so probably maybe tomorrow we might see Gibson in the net, maybe. We'll see about that. I think he needs a break. I think he's been overworked, Dostal has. So hopefully Gibson can help with that. And the next bit of news is, per The Athletic, Cam Fowler could be an option for the New York Islanders if they can get the cap space. So I wonder how that could work out, because I know the Islanders don't have the best prospect pool, so I wonder how that would look like in a trade to get Cam Fowler over there, and what we would get in return, and if we would have to retain some salary or not. So that is it for Ducks news. Now we'll move over to Kings news.
Okay, here's Kings news. It's quick and not necessarily good news. Alex Turcotte injured in Nashville. It's not considered to be serious by Coach Hiller. It might be just a few games. My understanding, it had nothing to do with concussion, which was why his rise to the NHL was so slow, because he had suffered many a concussion in the minors playing for the Rant. Also, bad news. Mikey Anderson got hit in the face. I do believe it was the ear area the other night, and had to be taken off the ice, and he didn't play in the third period. But my understanding is it's not serious either, and he may play tonight against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Other news is Tanner, the bad boy Janot, has just hired the law firm of Janot.
He's representing himself?
Well, no, it's probably going to be Janot or more representing him. After his hit on Brock Besser against Vancouver on, I believe it was Thursday night.
That was a pretty nasty hit.
It was unnecessary. He got a match penalty. Kings ended up, I'll tell you about what happened with that later. It did have ramifications on possibly how the game ended. But that same night, that's when Anderson got hit and was out the third period. So they were without both of those players. So, and I'll have probably rain news for you guys next week, because I don't want to inundate the podcast with AHL news. I'll probably do mine on an opposite week of Cody. So then we'll move to league news.
Yep.
Do you want to start or you want me to?
I'll start.
Okay.
McJesus has returned. He returned in a loss against the Golden Knights. Do you remember what night that was exactly that he returned?
No.
Okay.
I think
It was worth a shot.
Wednesday or Thursday, I think.
Okay. Well, let's just say McDavid is back. Oh, it was Wednesday. Yep. Let's see. Did he score in the game? Let's see. No, he did not. But I bet you it was nice to have him back. So McDavid did return from his little injury stint. So
obviously it was a precautionary thing when they sent him back to Edmonton. So
yeah,
it wasn't as serious. It was precautionary because that was the idea of why they sent him home. So
yeah.
Well, on to other news. Another superstar, Austin Matthews, is out day to day. Boy, a lot of injuries are happening here in hockey lately.
Yeah.
I haven't heard a report. Day to day usually means they can come back at any time. It's just a matter of how they feel after doing all the different. I can't even think of the words I want to use.
Let's see. Austin Matthews skated Saturday for the first time since sustaining an upper body injury, but won't play for the Leafs when they host the Montreal Canadiens. And that was by Dave McCarthy per NHL.com, and that was as of 8:45 this morning, pretty much.
Okay, so he's going to be out at least tonight. He'll probably be back at their next game. Yeah. So it's not a serious injury, that's good news because he's a talent.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Next bit of news is Vasilevsky is 1 win away from 300. Actually, let's see. Do they play tonight? The Lightning. Let's see. No, they don't play tonight. Or did they play yesterday? No. What about Sunday? Did I just not see them on the Saturday?
I'm looking while you're talking.
Oh,
that would be the Lightning, and I don't see the Lightning playing Saturday.
Oh, okay.
Let's see, Sunday. Let me see. I'll look Sunday. Check. No, Monday's probably their next game. No, Tuesday. Boy, they're going to make him wait to play. No, every so often a team has a week off. Maybe that's their week off.
This early in the season? No.
I don't even see them on Wednesday.
Oh, they play Thursday.
They play Thursday against the Jet. Oh, the 13-1 Winnipeg Jets. Wow.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Let's see. Teams. Here, this will be the best way to do it. Schedule. Let's see. Oh, wow. They don't play till Thursday. Holy moly. Wow. And they've lost 4 in a row. Wow. So they're really making them wait to get to 300.
And they got to play the team with the best record in hockey.
And then the team with, I think, the next best record, the Devils, after that.
Possibly.
Wow. They have 6 days off before. Okay, well, maybe it's the time off they need after losing 4 in a row. So,
yeah.
All right, you want to go with the next one?
I do. Cale Makar injured in a game versus the Kraken. Did you have any more information how serious that was?
Let me see if there's anything on the website.
Well, while you're doing that, I'll do the next one real quick.
Yeah, go for it.
So the Kraken have acquired forward Daniel Sprong from the Vancouver Canucks in exchange for future considerations, which is probably some minor draft picks or...
Oh, it could just be for a bag of pucks, too.
A bag of pucks. Yeah, sometimes it's a salary dump.
Yeah.
That's typically when you see future considerations, it's a salary dump.
So. Yeah, exactly. I don't see anything on the...
Yeah, well, he's
out.
I mean, and he's like... he's having an awesome season.
Well, it doesn't help that like half their roster's injured too, so...
True. That's why Colorado's had such a poor start. They're injured, but they got Lehkonen back. So,
Well, that's good.
and
Um,
he played really well his first game. And he'd
yeah.
been out for a while. So,
All right, and the last
I know
bit.
you want to do the next one. So,
Oh yes.
I'll let you.
Last bit of news is he's back. Jeff Merrick returns to the hockey entertainment industry by joining the Nation Network, and his show is called The Sheet with Jeff Merrick. It is out on Spotify and Apple. His first episode is not out yet, but he does have an introduction trailer out. So check it out.
That is so awesome.
I'm super excited.
I have missed him.
I have missed him too.
Yeah. I mean,
I listen to the Jeff Merrick show every day.
I mean, his replacement has
Kyle?
I've gotten kind of used to him, but
It's different.
It's different. It's not Jeff. I mean, when you got 32 Thoughts, this is the podcast 32 Thoughts. He was a co-host with Elliot Friedman. And their
rapport.
Yeah.
Together.
I mean, and it was a lot of sarcasm and funniness. And if you don't know anything about me and Cody, you can ask my wife. We drip with sarcasm. So, and
it's my first language.
Yes. But before we move on to the games, I do have the trivia question for you.
All right, go for it.
What was the Anaheim Ducks' longest undefeated streak at home? How long was it?
Oh, God, this was... I want to say it was like 20 games, wasn't it?
Pretty close.
I know it was during...
So I'll give you multiple choice.
Okay.
24 games, 20 games, 18 games, 22 games. You already know 20 games is not the correct answer. So you got to pick from the three.
Well, so 22?
22 games from October 10th, 2013 to January 21st, 2014. Over 3 months of home games, Anaheim Ducks were undefeated in home games. The historic 22-game streak officially ended at a record of 20-0-2. The Ducks were just the fourth team in the 40-plus seasons to record at least a point in their first 22 home games of the season. And that was from the start of the season.
Yeah.
Pretty incredible, huh?
I remember the Ducks had also I believe it was the Flames, where the Ducks didn't lose at home to the Flames for like 5 or 6 years or 7 years. It was like something crazy like that.
Can you see that?
No, because you got to put it towards the camera. There you go. Is that Mom?
Yeah.
Okay.
You got an affirmative.
Okay, sweet. we're gonna have a special treat for y'all tonight.
Yeah.
So let's get into the games.
Let's do it.
So I think this week we'll do the opposite of what we did last week. I'll let you go first.
Oh, so I get to
because you got 4 games to talk about, and I only got 3.
Okay, good idea.
So you go ahead and start yours.
Okay. Well, episode last week was the roller coaster ride continues. Well, it continued on Saturday, and it was the plunge. the Kings played the Chicago Bedards, and get first. Let me see. I got to get to the right spot here. There we go. Let me just go through the scoring. First period, Kings MVP Alex Laferriere scored his 7th goal on the power play from Kopitar, his 9th assist, and Fiala, his 4th assist. on a wrist shot. And I don't know if that statement will come true, but right now he might be the Kings MVP. I mean, he's playing. He is playing. Oh, so that was 1-0 after one. We go to the second period. MVP, Kings MVP, Alex Laferriere scored his 8th goal from Alex Turcotte with his 4th assist. And Philippe Deneau's 4th assist on a wrist shot at the 1837 mark. So after 2 periods, your Los Angeles Kings are beating the Bedards 2-0. So we start the third period, and not too far in, Nick Foligno scores from his 4th goal from Allen, his 3rd assist on a wrist shot at the 326 mark, and makes it 2-1. Craig Smith scores at the 534 mark. His 4th goal from Reichel, his 4th assist, and Vlasic, his 6th assist on a snapshot. So now it's 2-2. Then Philippe Deneau scored his 1st goal, which is something where they were hurting with Deneau, Byfield, and stuff. Just they weren't producing like they were expected. That came his first from Fiala, his 5th, and Trevor Moore, his 3rd assist on a backhanded shot at the 11:48 mark. But Chicago pulled their goalie, and at the 9:29 mark, Tyler Bertuzzi scored his 4th goal from Donato, his 2nd assist, and Seth Jones, his 7th assist on a tip in. It went to overtime. No scoring in overtime. Shootout. Shootout started with Trevor Moore scoring. Team name Bedard also scored on the shootout. Laferriere did not. Teravainen scored. Kempe scored. And then Donato scored. So basically there was one save in the whole shootout, which is really rare.
Really rare.
Really rare. So it ended up being 3-2. Chicago won in a shootout. So, and the Kings totally outplayed them, honestly. As a game, the Kings should have definitely won. So let's go on to the next game.
You want me to go now?
Yeah. Why don't we go in order? That was on November 2nd, Saturday, November 2nd.
Yep. So, first game for the Ducks. First game of the 6-game homestand after a terrible road trip. Let's start hopefully, I was hoping, all right, first game of a 6-game homestand. Let's start it off good. We're going to start it off against the Chicago Bedards. They're on on the second game of a back-to-back after just playing the Kings, after going in even into overtime and shootout. Hopefully they'd be nice and tired for the Ducks. Let's take advantage of it, right? Wrong. I mean, okay, I would say half right, or I would say like 25% right. Yes. The Ducks looked fantastic.
Wait a second. Half right, 25%?
No. I said half right. I said no, 25%. Okay. They were 25% right. My math is mathing, okay? Leave my math alone.
You're my one that knew math.
Yeah, because I didn't have to cheat like the other ones.
Oh, not go there.
Oops. I'm just kidding.
You know who's in trouble for next week, right?
Yep, you.
No, you.
Nope. Trust me. You.
Go on, sorry.
All right. Anyways, the Ducks probably looked their best in the first 7 to 10 minutes of the first period. And then as soon as Isaac Phillips scored for Chicago, it was pretty much over after that. The Ducks looked just defeated after just one goal. And I'm telling you, the Ducks had 14 shots in the first period. 14 shots on goal in the first period. And nothing. I'm not saying like they were getting good chances. They couldn't put anything in the back of the net. And then as soon as Isaac Phillips scored, it was like, oh, our season's over. We're done. Let's just stop playing. That's pretty much how it felt. Whatever. Who cares? That's literally what it looked like. The Ducks just looked defeated after that. And then about 4 minutes later, Teuvo Teravainen scored his 4th of the year on a power play goal, and it was 2-0 after the first period. We go into the second period. Seth Jones gets his 2nd of the year on a power play goal. You hear that? That's 2 power play goals the Ducks gave up this game already. Not good. Third period. Brock McGinn scores his 2nd of the year to make it 3-1 Chicago. Okay, now we're we get a little momentum, and then crap. What happened? Okay, there we go. And then Ryan Donato scored for Chicago, his 7th of the year to make it 4-1. And of course, just before the game was over, with 4 seconds left, Mason McTavish gets his first goal of the year on a power play goal to make it 4-2. The Ducks did outshoot the Bedards 40-29. We actually won the faceoff percentage, but barely. We literally won it 51-49. Barely won. Power play percentage. This is what hurt us right here. And you're going to hear me again with this later. But the Bedards were 2 for 2 on the power play. The Ducks were 1 for 5. And that one was with 4 seconds left in the game.
And they probably pulled the goalie, right?
Did they? Maybe. I don't know.
No, it would be an empty netter then.
No, the power play goal for the Ducks
was
with 4 seconds left.
I thought, well, no, it wouldn't be empty netter. I thought maybe
No.
the Ducks would have gone 6-on-4.
Who
Why
knows?
not? You're down 4-1. Who cares if you get another goal?
True.
I try to listen as much as I can, but I miss a lot of the games because of work. So
yeah,
I just ask them.
Yeah, the Blackhawks had 25 minutes and penalties. The Ducks had 9 hits, 19 for the Ducks, 9 for the Chicago. Blocked shots. This is what's the big key here. 26 blocked shots for the Blackhawks and 7 for the Ducks. 16 giveaways for Anaheim, 12 for Chicago, and then the takeaways, each team had 6. But like I'm saying, the power play needs to get better. How can you tell me you have 5 opportunities like that and nothing to really show for it? Like, really, nothing to really show for it. Let's see. Let me see if I could pull that up. Game summary. Maybe I could. Let's see. When the Ducks were on. No, it's not going to show me, is it? Nope. All right. We're not going to worry about that. So, like I said, you can't just get defeated after 1 goal like the Ducks did. I mean, okay, the Ducks did play well. Chicago did, just put the puck in the back of the net. But, like, this is the game the Ducks probably should have won. But at the same time, they should have lost at the same time because, like, they just looked out of it. They were getting beat to loose pucks. They were giving Chicago second, third chances. So, and it doesn't help that they have Bedard, which should have been ours. So, all right, we'll move on. I'm done with this. I'm done with this game. So, all right, you can talk about your second game.
Okay. And the roller coaster ride continued again from being at the bottom of the valley on that roller coaster ride. They go to Nashville and play the Predators, who probably had one of the best off seasons from what everybody thought. But let me tell you, the Kings played great. Let me go over the scoring. First period, Anze Kopitar, the cap, scored his 5th from Brant Clark, his 11th assist, and Adrian Kempe his 7th on a wrist shot at the 13:24 mark for a 1-0 lead for the Kings. Second period really went with no scoring for either team. So after 2 periods, the Kings are up 1-0. Then in the third period, 35 seconds into the third period, Kevin Fiala scores his 6th goal from Danault, his 5th, and Trevor Moore his 4th on a wrist shot. So the Kings are now up 2-0. And to close out the scoring, Adrian Kempe scores his 5th, an empty netter from Trevor Lewis and Gavrikov. Lewis's 2nd, Gavrikov's 4th at the 17:02 mark, a wrist shot. Kings win the game 3-0. Fully great defensive game, shutout for Darcy Kemper. The Kings had 27 shots, Predators 16. Kings won the faceoff 54.5% to 45.5%, which has now been picking up. The Kings have definitely improved on their faceoffs. Kopitar is over 50% now, which I never heard him ever being under 50%. Power play wasn't much. I mean, neither team. Kings were 0 for 4. Nashville was 0 for 3. But for the Kings penalty kill, that's another game with no penalty, no power play goals given to the other team. Penalty minutes was 20 minutes for Nashville, 18 minutes for the Kings, of which, which is good. Now, Nashville out-hit the Kings 21-12 and out-hit them in block shots 14-12. And then giveaways, Nashville had 11, the Kings had 10. Takeaways, the Kings had 8, and Nashville had 3. So let me go to and I didn't even give you I really didn't want to even give the 3 stars of the game when they played the Bedards. I was kind of ticked off.
I didn't even do my 3 stars either.
Yeah. Third star, Kevin Fiala with a goal. Second star, Anze Kopitar with a game winner, had a goal. And the first star of the game is Darcy Kemper. He had, obviously, 16 for 16 on the saves. So his GAA was 0. And he was the first player of the game. So on to your Tuesday night game, Cody.
I'm actually looking at the 3 stars of the game for the game against Chicago. You want to know what's crazy? Bedard wasn't one of the 3 stars. That's 1. The third star was Seth Jones with 1 goal. Brock McGinn was the second star with 1 goal. Taylor Hall was the first star with 2 assists for 2 points. Bedard had 3 assists that game.
What?
Yeah, Bedard had 3 assists. Not only 3 assists, 3 primary assists. And he wasn't one of the 3 stars. Taylor Hall was the first star with 2 assists. None primary, I think. Oh, no, sorry. 1 primary assist. And he wasn't even one of those 3 stars.
So in case anybody wants to know, a primary assist is they're the one that passed the puck to the guy who scored first. Yeah. I mean, the last pass. So you can have the secondary and the primary. Some people want to consider the primary as the key one, but they all count as a point. So,
yep.
Okay.
Right. Now it's the game that happened Tuesday, I believe. Yeah, Tuesday. On election night, the Ducks against the Vancouver Canucks. Ducks and Canucks. I always love saying that. I don't know why. This game was just bad. I'm going to just tell you that now. The Ducks lost this game 5-1. Started off really well. We started off with not only a power play, but a power play goal from our defenseman. Olin Zellweger got his second of the year with assists from Troy Terry and Mason McTavish. So they started out the scoring and got the first goal of the game, finally. And the Ducks lead 1-0. 10 minutes later, Brock Besser scores his sixth goal of the year for a power play with assists from Hughes and Miller. And then former Ducks and Gulls legend Kiefer Sherwood scores his third of the year to make it 2-1 Canucks. And that was in the first period. In the second period, Elias Pettersson scores his second of the year to make it 3-1 Vancouver. In the third period, Jake DeBrusk and Danton Heinen each get a goal in the third to make it 5-1 total. Here's where it hurts the Ducks again. The Ducks got outshot in this game 37-22. Face-off percentage 54-46. Power play. The Canucks were 1 for 5, so I'll against a team like that, that's fine. Because, you got Quinn Hughes, who was the Norris Trophy winner last year, probably one of the best power play quarterbacks in the game. And you got Brock Besser, you got, what's his name? JT Miller and Elias Pettersson all on one power play. Okay, I can handle one goal. But the Ducks got to do more on their power play end, too. They were the Ducks were 1 for 4. They got out-hit. Out-hit. The Ducks got more block shots with 19-7, but 13 giveaways in this one. 13 giveaways. That's not good. So the Ducks lose this one 5-1. The 3 stars of the game is Olin Zellweger was the third star with 1 goal. Besser was the second star with 1 goal, 1 assist. And the first star of the game was Quinn Hughes, of course, with 3 assists. So I'm going to bring something back to this game later on. So we'll see that later. So I'll let you go to your next game, Dan.
Okay. My next game. And we had the second game on our 2-game road trip. Went to, to Minnesota to play the Wild, and a Minnesota Wild team that had only lost 1 game in regulation. So, the Kings obviously came through and beat Nashville, and what have we been on this roller coaster ride, people, right? So what do you expect? We were at the top over there on Nashville that start crashing down, but guess what happened? They didn't crash. They did get outplayed in the first period. They were outshot 9-2, but no score in the first period. So in the second period, let's go through how the scoring happened. Zach Bogosian scored the first. Bogosian scored his first goal from Gaudreau, his 4th assist, and Ryan Hartman his first assist at the 7:31 mark, a wrist shot, giving Minnesota a 1-0 lead. 6 minutes and 59 seconds later, Warren Foegele scores his 5th assist from Alex Laferriere, his 4th, and Quentin Byfield, his 6th, tied the game at the 14:30 mark, a backhanded shot. Then on the power play, Kevin Fiala gets his 7th from Alex Ferrier, his 5th assist, and Anze Kopitar, his 10th assist for the Kings to take a 2-1 lead. And that was a snapshot. Then we go to the third period. Trevor Lewis scores his second from Andre Lee, his second assist. And Tanner, the bad boy Janot, got his first assist at the 7:39 mark on a wrist shot. So the Kings are now up 3-1. Oh, okay, Cody, can I get like a drum roll or a trumpet? Guess who scores? Quinton Byfield with his first from Gavrikos, his fifth assist. Trevor Moore, his fifth assist at the 14:12 mark on a tip-in. Yay, Quinton! It's about time. Kings are up 4-1. Then, not to be outdone by Quinton, Trevor Lewis scores his third goal, second of the game. Empty netter from Philip Deneau, his sixth. Trevor Moore, his sixth, on a wrist shot at the 16:14 mark. Kings win in Minnesota 5-1. So the Kings outshot the Wild 28-24 on faceoffs. The Kings were 52.4% to the Wild's 47.6%. Kings were 1 for 1 on the power play, 100%. And for the second game in a row, no power plays against. The penalty kill in the last two games is 7 for 7 at shutting them down. The Kings had 10 penalty minutes. The Wild only had 4. Kings out hit them 25-11. Did 13 block shots to the Wild's 9. Giveaways, Kings 9, Wild 13. And takeaways were 4 for the Kings, 7 for the Wild. And let's go to our 3 stars of the game. So I want you all to think about it. Who might be the 3 stars of the game? And the third star of the game is Warren Fogle with a goal. The second star of the game was just Mikey Anderson playing defense. And the first star of the game, our future superstar, Quinton Byfield, with a goal and assist. Now, isn't it funny that Trevor Lewis had 2 goals and he's not even a star in the game? I mean, this is picked by the media. It was probably picked by the media in Minnesota.
Yeah.
Obviously, they don't like Trevor Lewis. Trevor Lewis, you would have been, I think I'd have given you first star. Oh. And so that was Wednesday night's game for the Kings. Wednesday night, right?
Oh.
Yeah, I think
Wednesday,
so.
yeah. Sure. Thursday, wasn't it?
No, Thursday was Vancouver.
Oh.
Or maybe
Never
the first
mind.
game was Monday, and this was the
Tuesday.
5th. What was
That was Tuesday.
Monday and Tuesday. This is Tuesday's game. Sorry, people.
Yeah.
And then Thursday was Vancouver, which I'll talk about after Cody talks about the Duck game.
All right, so this game happened last night, Friday night. Minnesota was in. Can't talk. The Ducks hosted the Minnesota Wild and lost this game 5-2. And of course, this is pretty much how it's been all season. Jake Middleton starts the scoring off and makes it 1-0 Minnesota. And then a couple minutes later, Marcus Foligno scores to make it 2-0 Wild. And then who else on the Wild but Kirill, the Thrill, Kaprizov. 3 minutes later, makes it 3-0 with his 8th of the year. So now it's 3-0 going into the first period. Second period, we had no scoring, but Robbie Fabry scored his second of the year unassisted to make it 3-1 to start the third period. I was like, all right, cool. Let's get some momentum. Let's get going. Nothing really happened after that. Marco Rossi scored his 4th of the year to make it 4-1 Minnesota. And of course, probably the best player right now currently, Kirill Kaprizov, scores his second of the game, 9th of the season, on a power play goal to make it 5-1 Minnesota. And then, of course, Mason McTavish for his second goal of the year and his second goal of the week with, I would say, garbage time goal to make it 5-2. He scored with 13 seconds left. But again, the Ducks, like the Ducks actually did outshoot Minnesota, but doesn't mean that just because you outshoot a team doesn't mean it's a good thing. You got to get stuff in the net. That's what the Ducks' issue is. They can't get anything in the net. So
yeah, they're not getting high quality shots.
No, they're not. Face-off percentage, 58.3 to 47 point, sorry, I'll just say 58 to 42. Power play. The Minnesota Wild was 1 for 2. The Ducks, 0 for 6. They literally almost had 6 straight minutes of power play time. Nothing. And one of them was a double minor. And they started that power play off really good. But it's like they don't do anything on the power play. They're not moving. All they do is pass around. If I was the team, I'd be like, hey, just let them pass it around, and just don't let them get cross ice passes, and we're good. They're not moving. They're not moving the defense around. That's what other teams are doing on the power play. They're moving. They're getting the defense moved to get open looks. The Ducks are just, all right, I'll pass to the wing. Nope, I'll pass it back to the top. Pass it to the other wing. Nope, nothing. Pass it back to the top. Pass it behind the net. Oh, there's nothing. You got to do something other than just pass, 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 pass. You got to pass, move, or switch with someone. Like have Zegras go to the bumper or go behind the net. Like, they're just standing there. And it's bad. It's just, we can't be doing that. That's why our power play is one of the worst in the league. So, the Ducks lose this game 5-2. Third star of the game was Philip Gustafsson, and he gave up 2 goals, and he had a .943 save percentage. And then Frank Petrano was the second star of the game with 0 points, but he looked good. He did. And then, of course, Kaprizov was the first star of the game with 2 goals, 1 assist for 3 points. So that was really, like I said, it was another hard game to watch offensively for this team. We can't always rely on Dostal to save us every game. We got to do something to help him out.
Well, have you noticed the save percentage has been dropping a lot because they're just giving up too many high quality shots at Dostal. I mean, a goalie can only do so much.
I'm not blaming Dostal for nothing.
No.
There's maybe, I think, one game or one goal last game where I was like, okay, maybe he could have stopped it or whatever. But after that, I'm like, you guys got to help him. He can't be on 24/7 all the time. You got to give him some, like, insurance. You got to give him some type of help. It's like Dostal's pitching a perfect game, but nobody on the other, but at the same time, nobody on your team on offense is hitting a baseball. No one's getting on base. No one's scoring. Or you get the bases loaded with no outs, and you get into a freaking easy double play, and then the next guy strikes out. It's just like they're not helping offensively for Dostal.
They got to quit watching the Angels.
Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Well, hopefully that's all going to change.
Yes. So that was the last game of this week to talk about for the Ducks. So they start the homestand 0-3. Yay. That sounds great, right?
Yeah, I have one more game.
Yep, I'll let you talk about that game now.
So, our 2-game road trip, we went 2-0, and we come home to play the Vancouver Canucks. The current Pacific Division champs, because they had the best record last year. But let's talk about this game. First period. Quentin Byfield gets goal number 2, so he scored in 2 games in a row. At the 1:43 mark of the game, first period, Laferriere with his 6th, Fogle with his 2nd on a backhanded shot. Kings up 1-0. But at 14:20, on the power play, Connor Garland scores unassisted to tie the game at 1-1. So there goes our streak on the PK. Then we go to the second period, and Jake DeBrusk scores his 3rd from Quinn Hughes, his 11th, and Hronik, his 4th, at the 5:51 mark with a wrist shot, put the Canucks up 2-1. And that's how the second period ended. And then we went to the third, and now it was Quinn Hughes scoring unassisted at the 2:44 mark with a wrist shot to put Vancouver up 3-1. Vladislav Gavrikov scores his 1st from Trevor Moore in the third. This is in the third period. From Moore his 7th and Deneau his 7th at the 13:57 mark on a wrist shot. So it's now 3-2. Then with the goalie pulled, JT Miller scores unassisted. At the 18:46 mark, a wrist shot to put Vancouver to the final of 4-2. So, I mean, did we play awful? No. But we are playing a better team. Probably one of the elite teams of the Pacific. And I thought we played well. We just didn't put the puck in. So here are the stats of the game. Ducks outshot the Canucks 28-23. Face-offs, the Kings lost that 51-49%. Guys, that's okay. You just don't want to get waxed on that. On the power play, the Kings were 0 for 4. I mean, the Canucks were 1 for 3, obviously with that unassisted Garland goal in the first period. Penalty minute.
Technically, that wasn't an unassisted goal. If you watch, I was watching the game because I was like, why does it say I was like kind of curious why it said own on the thing.
Oh,
it was a power play goal. Oh. Kemper knocked it in. So Garland kind of hit it towards the net, and Kemper hit it with his stick.
I do remember. I was listening. I did remember them saying that. Yeah, thanks for clarifying that. Cody.
Yeah.
On penalty minutes, 12 minutes for the Canucks, 11 for the Kings. Hits, Canucks out-hit the Kings 33-26. Block shots, the Kings outdid them 21-18. Giveaways, that's the one you want to be lower on, like golf. The Kings 15, Canucks 11. Takeaways, Canucks 4, and the Kings 3. 3 stars of the game. Third star of the game, Jacob DeBrusk with a goal. Second star of the game is Gavrikov with a goal. And the first star of the game, of course, was last year's Norris Trophy winner, Quinn Hughes, with a goal and assist. So
it's crazy that he was actually the latest pick out of the 3 Hughes brothers.
Yeah, he's the oldest brother, too.
Yeah.
Typically, it's funny. It's either the oldest or the youngest are the best.
Well, they're saying Luke is supposed to be the best out of the 3.
Well, but right now, who would you take? I mean, it'd be tough. Jack's pretty
Yeah.
good too, but he had an injury-prone season last year. But Quinn was a Norris Trophy winner,
Yeah.
and he's got to battle McCarr for that. Talk about a battle.
Yeah, that's very true.
Two guys I'd love to have on my team.
When was he drafted? What year was he drafted? It doesn't even say on here.
Quinn Hughes?
Yeah, I think he was 6th overall, I want to say.
I could look that up real quick. Just give me a second.
Quinn Hughes, let's see. I want to say it was 6th overall.
Vancouver.
7th overall. What's his name?
2018 draft. 7th
Yeah, that
overall.
was the Darlene draft, I believe.
Would you rather have Darlene or Quinn Hughes?
Right now, Quinn.
Well, absolutely. Darlene's a good player. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, nothing against
but
Darlene.
Quinn's elite. Quinn's elite. Him.
Honestly, I would have at this point. I would have either one, and I'd be happy.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you on that one.
So, do you want to get our special guest on here?
Sure.
All right. Well, while he's doing that, I'll do my game predictions real quick while you're doing that.
I'll do my game predictions afterwards, I take it?
And then we'll have our special guest on.
Okay, so we're working on that. Go ahead.
All right. So, for the first game, the Ducks will play against the Columbus Blue Jackets. That will be tomorrow, because we are recording this on Saturday. So they play tomorrow, Sunday, against the Blue Jackets, and I have the Ducks losing this game 3-2 to the Columbus Blue Jackets. And then Tuesday, 11/13, the Ducks against the Golden Knights. I have them losing this game 4-1. And then on Friday, the Ducks will be with the last game of the homestand against the Detroit Red Wings. And I have them also losing this game 3-1. So, are we ready to have our special guest on?
Yes.
All right. So, we're going to do probably a hockey podcast first, guys. All right. Since I already did my predictions, Dad, you can do yours after we have a little fun here. We're going to do a hockey podcast first, everyone. We're going to have a mother-son rant. Mom, take it away.
Okay, for those that watched the Tuesday 5th game against the Canucks, I was so ticked off at that because they let 2 goals that shouldn't have happened right in front of the net where poor Stahl couldn't even see because I think it was Miller and I don't remember who the other one was.
Pedersen
were parked right in front of the net. I mean, even the announcers were saying he can't stop what he can't see. But yet twice it happened. And the Ducks could have been in the game had they stopped that. And then last night's game with and I know that's part of your rant too, shoot the damn puck. I mean, that's what I kept yelling at the television. Just shoot. It's a good thing nobody was home.
Listeners, real quick, my mom hates when anyone cusses, so for her to cuss, it's a big thing. And usually when we hear her cuss, we all flinch. It's scary. So it's just I'm letting you guys know. Usually if I cuss, I'm usually when I cuss, I usually get a hand to the back of the head, like, hey, watch your mouth.
But that was my big rant. Just I don't know what the problem is with the either shooting or, like I said, letting somebody camp out. And I've seen it in the other games too, where they're just, the defense is not helping to stall. It's a wonder he does as well as he does. Because sometimes I don't feel like the defense is helping him out as much as they should.
Yeah. And you have anything else? Keep going. I'm loving it.
No, that was it for now. I just, it's frustrating to see them knowing that there's so much talent there and not seeing them use it the way that they should be using it. They should be playing better.
A lot better.
Yeah. And like parking in front of the net, to me, that's like basic defense 101. Get, protect your goalie and get the person out.
No, I 100% agree. The only thing is, like, on those ones, the other team was on a power play, so that's usually one less guy they have right there.
Not both of them, though. I think one was, but the other one wasn't.
Yeah.
And he was
No,
parked there for a long, it wasn't like he was just
that was
there.
the Pedersen. That was the Pedersen one for sure. The Miller one where he was like he kind of skated by and did it. Pedersen was just there, and I think that was the power play one. But here's the thing: if you know that's what the other team is doing when the Ducks had their power play chances, there's no one in front of their goalie. No one. Like, I see, like, oh, there's finally a wide open shot, but it's like literally just a wide, like, the goalie's like, oh, I see everything. Oh my, I could easily I could block this with my eyes closed.
Yeah, I could hardly see anybody parked in front of the goal like they were, or like the other opposite teams are for us. Even last night, it was the same thing. It was like they're going all around, but it's like, okay, who's gonna do something in front of the net? Who's gonna take the chance and putting it in?
Yeah, like every time I saw the Ducks get a good scoring chance on the power play, and they had someone in front of the goalie, but as soon as the guy started shooting, they're like, oh, I'm gonna get out of the way and try to tip it. I'm like, no, stay in front of him, block his view, and try to tip it that way. Like,
Yeah.
it makes they're giving the goalies like, oh, like, I can block this blindfolded.
Yeah, it was definitely very frustrating. I think that was the most frustrated I've been watching a game, especially last night. I was just, like I said, it's a good thing nobody was home because I was yelling at the television set.
If Christina wasn't watching her show on the TV, because I was watching on my computer, I would have been screaming. I almost wanted to punch my computer. I was banging on the desk like, shoot, no, okay, shoot, no.
Yeah, I agree. But that's the
All right.
mom rant I had.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Everyone say hi and welcome to my mom and having our first mother-son hockey podcast first. Mother-son rant.
I'm sure there'll be more.
Oh, I love it.
All right, let me give it back to your dad.
Okay.
I'm back.
Oh, I missed the other co-host.
I miss her. I miss her too.
All right, you can go over your predictions, and I'm going to finish my rant before
you're
we
not
forget.
done?
No, there's more.
Okay. I listened to a little bit of your mom. I couldn't hear you at all.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be fun to listen to Monday morning.
Oh yeah.
Let me just get to my predictions. So my predictions is today. The Kings on the 9th, Saturday the 9th, they'll be playing the Columbus Blue Jackets. I predict the Kings 5, Blue Jackets 2. Then Monday we play at Calgary. I have the Kings winning the game 4-3. Then Wednesday, at Colorado, I have Colorado beating the Kings 4-2. And then Saturday, I don't know why we put Saturdays on there. That should be next week.
All right, then don't say it.
I won't say that one. But what I did want to go over is after the 3 episodes so far, do you know what your record is, Cody?
Horrible. Like the Ducks.
Well, yeah, because I'm kicking your butt. I am 7-3. I've had 2 more games for some reason, and you're 3-5. That's not that bad.
Because you guys have played 2 more games.
Oh, okay. So I'm 7-3. You're 3-5. So
sounds about right.
Kick it up, kid. You know, I might have to kick you off. Put your mom on the podcast.
Well, if that involves us, the Ducks playing better, I'll happily let my mom take over. I'll still do all the editing and posting. Let her talk. Because God, I was scared when she was starting on her rant. Mom cussed.
Really?
Yeah.
She
See,
cussed on the air?
on the air. She said the
Ooh.
D word. I was like,
Ooh.
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 I interrupted. I was like, hey guys, if my mom cusses, that's not a good thing.
Wow.
See?
Okay. So
So
funny thing is, and I know she's gonna listen to this because she just went shopping with somebody. She left. So
mhm.
she's gonna be in trouble when she gets back. I go, you cussed on the podcast. Oh, I
Yeah,
just can't believe it.
I know.
We have to pick players of the week, don't we?
Do I have to?
Yeah.
I have a player in mind, so I'll let you go first. I think I know who you're picking. I think I know who you're
Okay,
picking.
tell me who.
LaFerriere.
Absolutely, Alex, the MVP, LaFerriere. I mean, he's played awesome. I hope it continues. I mean, I really do hope somebody. I think he at one time for the first 12 games he had 8 goals. That pans out to be like 50 goals. It's probably
Wow.
not going to happen, people.
Oh, no.
He's not that exceptional. He's not McDavid or Matthews. Although, wouldn't it be nice if he was? We finally got one guy like that. Who knows?
That would be really nice. And his name
maybe
isn't Kempe?
well, 50 goals would be beyond Kempe.
I bet you if Kempe played the Ducks at 82 games just played the Ducks, he would have the most goals. He'd be I'll beat Gretzky in within 3 years. Because Kempe, every time he plays
He does.
the
He
Ducks,
has the
he
Ducks number for some
scores.
reason.
It's not, and honestly, I thought it was just a Gibby thing. Because since the AHL, Kempe's just had Gibson's number, and then to the NHL, same thing. Kempe's had Gibson's number, but Gibson didn't play the last game, and Kempe still scored. So I'm like, okay, maybe it's just like Kempe and Ducks kind of thing.
You know what? You bring up Kempe. One thing that really shocked me is how much of a better overall hockey player he became to be, and how patience waiting for these kids to mature is important. Because a lot of times they give up on them and they end up being a star for another team.
Yeah.
Or because they give up on them, they lose faith in themselves and never become what they could become. And I can say Adrian Kempe is definitely an example of patience by the Kings. And I give their management all kudos for the patience they gave Adrian.
Yeah.
So, anyways, who you going to pick a player of the week?
Okay, my player of the week. He's not someone you expect to see on the scorecard every game, or really much ever. But I've noticed his play has been really well, and honestly, I think he's been one of the most consistent players for the Ducks. All season. I think he's had maybe a couple bad shifts, but every time I see him, I notice him whenever he's on the ice.
Okay.
And it's not someone who I expected, and it's someone that I think we missed last season. It's Brock McGinn.
He's played well.
He has played well.
You know, I hear his name as
in
much
good
as
ways.
I hear. Well, yeah, but as much as any of Troy Terry or Leo Carlson.
Yeah.
He's actually outplaying Trevor Zegras.
Yeah, I'm like I said, he's not someone you expect to see on the stats or scoring goals or getting assists, but he's doing the good, he's making good defensive plays. He's getting hits. He's making the extra effort. He's the main forechecker. He's doing stuff that's giving the Ducks even second or third chances. And it's something and this is just all off the eye test is what I call it. Just me watching the game and just observing. I'm like, oh, man, I'm like every time I'm like, okay, damn, that's Brock McGinn again.
Yeah.
Like it's just someone like like I said, I think he did score a goal. I think he may have had an assist this week. I don't know, but I could just tell you, like, I love his play. He's always out there hustling. He's giving it 110 every single shift, and I appreciate that, and I've noticed it. And I've noticed it all season, but like those, like the other 3 player of the weeks we've had, I mean, it's kind of hard to go against Dostal, what he's been doing all year, and then Troy Terry, like what he did that week. But like Brock McGinn was always like right there, though. He was always like one of my choices,
That's awesome.
But like Dostal, like I admit, he hasn't had his best week, but I'm not blaming him for any of that.
No, he's pummeled.
Yeah.
Their shots are coming from everywhere. Eventually, they're going to go in the net.
No, yeah. Like I said,
it's just a law of numbers.
Like I said, I'm not blaming Dostal for this bad week. It's not him.
Are they playing tonight?
No, we play tomorrow. You guys play tonight.
I know that. I think Gibson will probably start tomorrow.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah,
give Dostal a break.
Well, before we end with player of the week, I need to do my gesture, and you need to do your lame duck. Do you want me to go first?
You go for it.
For the second week in a row, the Jester champion of the Kings, Newell Brown. Power play just isn't doing enough.
You're going with a coach? I'm going with a different coach this week.
Okay.
Yeah. And I'm going to lead this into the last part of my rant.
Oh, yeah. You got more rant, don't you?
Yes. So my lame duck of the week is Greg Cronin.
Ooh.
What are we doing? The power play isn't working. The penalty kill isn't working. Our 5-on-5 is just getting, I would say, it's okay, but we got to put the puck in the net. Why is Ross Johnston out here playing? Why isn't Brett? If we need scoring, why is Johnston out here? He's just a traffic cone. I'd rather see Brett Leeson out there, because at least I know he has a better scoring chance than Brett Johnston does. Johnston, he has looked better, but Leeson would be 10 times better in those positions.
Well,
this last, what?
I hit a traffic cone last week. It might have been Johnston. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
Maybe that's why he's not playing well.
I don't know. Did you lose a fender or something off it? Because that's a pretty big traffic cone.
I just kind of nipped it a little bit, and it went bouncing around the...
All right. And also, I would say if I had to choose a player for my lame duck, it's Radko Gudas. He has just been bad. And last night, it did not look good at the end of the game, where the game was over. It was done. We got outplayed, of course. And then Radko wants to start a fight out of nowhere. Like, that just looks bad. And he hasn't looked like the same Radko Gudas we had last year. And I'm sorry, why did you shave your beard? Oh my, did you notice that he got rid of the beard?
Cody, I haven't been able to watch the Ducks, because every time they're playing, I'm working, so I will listen to them on the radio.
Yeah, I'll send. If I remember, I'll try to send you a picture of what he has, like a mustache, like a handlebar kind of thing.
I can't even imagine him without his beard on.
Oh, I know. But like I said, the Ducks have been outscored in this homestand. I believe, was it 12-3? They scored one last night? No, I'll have to double check. Let's see. I have it right here. 4-2, 5-1. That's 9, and they lost again, 5-2, so that's 14-5. They got outscored in the homestand, 14-5. That's not good. Let's see. Let me pull up my notes. Face-off percentage, dead last at 42.7%. Goals for 30, they're last with 27. Goals per game, last with 2.08. Power play percentage, 28th at 13%. The PK, 28th at 72.2. Shots against per game, They're dead last with 30. They're giving up almost 35 shots per game. Shot attempt differential minus 158. They're getting outshot so far this season by 158 chances.
Wow.
Their shooting percentage is 30th at 7.5. And I hate to say it, but this is going to be a royally quacked first for me. I think what Frank Saravelli said might be true.
Oh, God.
I know. I'm going to have to wash my mouth out with soap after this and probably take a shower after saying this, but he said on his latest podcast on the Daily Faceoff that there's a real chance that Greg Cronin could be the first coach fired this season.
Maybe they're going to do a recount and Kamala actually won.
Oh, God, please don't put that juju on this podcast. Don't know.
Well, if Frank Saravelli's going to be right.
Okay, I'm saying
the world's upside down, guys.
I know. When I saw this, I was like, oh wow, it's true. Then I saw the writer. I'm like, oh crap. Like he could be true. Damn it. Oh, there's a second word.
You just gave Mom an out now. Thanks.
Oh, that's fine. She's used to me cussing. Me and Tim are bad. But anyways, but like something has to change for the Ducks. We can't be getting outshot. We're out losing faceoffs. This horrible. The power play is horrible. Like all they do is pass to the wing, pass back to the point, pass back to the other wing, pass, and the team's like, hey, we'll just let them. Honestly, if I was the other team, I'd be like, hey, I'll just stand here and make sure they don't get a cross-ice pass and nothing to worry about after this.
Stay in front of everybody.
No one's even blocking the view of the goalie. Every time they get a shot on goal, there's no one in front of them. I've seen it many times where Mason McTavish was right there. And then, like, as soon as the shot is going, he moves out of the way. And then the goalie is like, oh, I can see everything. Boom, save. You know what happened on the Olin Zellweger goal the other night against Vancouver?
No. I don't know what happened.
So on the power play, it was a power play goal. He shot from the point. You want to know why it went in? Because someone was blocking the view of the goalie.
Well, you need
after that, nothing else.
You need an in front of the net presence if you want to score.
And there's nothing. And with the Ducks power play, it's like everyone's just literally standing there. This is what I want you to do, Dad. I want you to go on Victory Plus, go to the third period, and watch when the Ducks get their 4-minute power play. And just watch how they're just standing around. They're not moving. You see other teams, they're like zigzagging, they're moving, and then you see that's when the penalty kill they get tired, they get moving, and then that's when you get open chances or open cross passes. But no, the Ducks are just pass. There's no standing, there's no moving. Yeah, they're literally just.
Yeah, I get it, Cody, because the Kings do that when their power play's not working. They're passing too much. And they're not. There's no in front of the net presence. I mean, when I see that, I definitely miss Brownie.
Yeah,
Dustin Brown. One thing he excelled at was that pest in front of the net.
Oh, he was a pest in the net too.
And I got you think about it, Corey Perry.
Oh,
talk about a pest. You miss that kind of a player.
Yeah.
So
also and also the Ducks are 5th to last in points percentage with a .38. Yeah. The only teams behind them are the Canadiens, the Sharks, the Predators, and the Blackhawks. And I would say the Sharks, they were without celebrating for most of the season, so that's like one thing. Canadians, they've had a lot of injuries too. The Blackhawks, I mean, they should be a little bit better. Predators should not be this low.
Yeah, they shouldn't.
Yeah.
That's a shock, and they played very, very poorly.
Yeah.
So,
But I don't think that's going to be sustainable for them being that bad.
well,
But I'm just saying.
I missed your earlier rant, so I can't wait to listen to the podcast on Monday and hear you and your
Look,
mom together.
I just can't believe like it's getting so bad that I'm actually like almost agreeing with Saravelli. It's that bad.
So tomorrow when you come over, I will slap you and wake you up.
Oh, please.
Just, don't start believing in him.
I know. Trust me, I didn't want to.
I mean, Elliot's a much better,
Oh, hands down.
you know.
There's other people I'd rather. Elliot Friedman, of course, is like the top dog and everything. So, I don't know if I forgot to tell you. I'll tell you this on the podcast. So when me and my father-in-law Tony we were watching the Dodger game, and they were talking about Fernando Valenzuela.
Yeah.
And it turns out Tony played a round of golf with Fernando Valenzuela back in the day.
No kidding.
Yep. He also played with two other famous people.
Okay.
So I guess Tony on his day off went to play some golf, and he was just a single golfer, and the clubhouse was like, hey, there's a threesome over there if you want to join them. So he went in over there. He's like, all right, whatever. He played.
Of course, that sounds just like Tony.
Yep. And you want to know who the other two people were?
Who's that?
Bob Miller and Barry Melrose.
Oh, you're talking a long time ago.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
This is before. I think this was before before I was even born.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, because he was like, the guy was like, yeah, I think he was the announcer for the Kings, and then I think the other guy was like the coach for the Kings, and I was like, wait, are you talking about Bob Miller and Barry Melrose? He's like, that sounds familiar, and then I showed him a picture. He's like, yep, that was them. I was like,
oh my God.
What?
You know, you have nothing but humor at your house. It's just like I would have been like awestruck, and Tony's like, some hockey guy and a coach.
I was just like Bob Miller's like probably the most famous commentator for the Kings. Like he for 40 years or so.
Well, him and Nick Nixon have about the same tenure. I mean, because Nick came in a few years after Bob, but I mean, both Hall of Fame announcers. So,
but Barry Melrose, though,
that's okay. When I had Dean Norris in the back of my car, I asked him what he did. Hey, I'm an actor for 27 years. I go, oh yeah, what were you in? He goes, Breaking Bad, and I go, oh, well, because I hadn't watched the show.
I told you about it too before that.
Yeah, I know. He was such a nice guy. Oh my God.
That's what I've heard.
You know,
it's funny because he's one of our cousins.
You don't know a celebrity.
well, it's funny because I think a couple of weeks ago I actually delivered propane to his house. He wasn't there, of course, but nothing was funnier when I was umpiring the for a certain famous baseball coach, and he was probably more famous as a coach than a player. And that was where I was behind the plate. The catcher set up a foot outside. I called the ball. The fans, all they saw was the catcher not move his glove, and they started complaining. And then the coach stood up and yelled to his fans, "Shut the F up. That was a good call, Blue. Good job." And I didn't eject the coach because of who he is. My partner did not know who he was. And he's like, hey, how come you didn't eject him? I was like, you know who that is, right? And he's like, no. I'm like, that's Dusty Baker, dude. He's like, that's Dusty Baker? I'm like, yeah.
I had an experience with Dusty.
Yeah, and I'm like, remember the kid? Did you watch the World Series when the Angels and Giants played, and the little bat boy came out a little too soon, and JT Snow grabbed him? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, well, he's pitching right now. And he's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah.
I actually had him too. And the funny thing was, I know I wasn't. I'm sure I know I wasn't working with you. I don't even not sure if you were working yet. And a similar thing happened but it was a strike call. He was on the outside corner. The pitcher threw it right on the inside corner. I was right on the inside corner, but it did look bad. And the third base coach was going off on me, and Dusty would sit on the bucket right inside the dugout, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he stood up. And he goes, "Shut up! He's calling a great game." And I'm sitting there going, "God, and him being not just a great player, but a great coach, and going out and helping young kids play, and yet having the class to understand, even if we are wrong, we're not always wrong, and having the respect for officials." It's funny because I had to tell my partner the same thing. Remember the World Series when that was his son.
Yeah. That was crazy.
Yeah, it was. Are we almost ready to go?
Yeah. You want to hear an interesting fact about Dusty Baker?
Sure.
He was probably one of the first people, this is what it's rumored to be, that him and this guy named Glenn Burke invented the high five.
Okay, I think I may have heard that before, but
that's just crazy.
Faint in my memory. But what I wanted to do too is, being a Kings fan, I want to say something about the Anaheim Ducks. The other night, you had a good friend of ours on it between periods, named Eric Reese.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and if a lot of people don't know about what's called NEGU, it was created by his daughter Jessie. It's never ever give up. She had brain cancer, and I consider myself a faithful man, but this 12-year-old kid, she saw what was going on, and she was going through it, that a lot of these kids didn't have anything. So she told her dad, she goes, "Dad, I want to bring joy to these kids." And she created joy jars. And they got people to donate stuff. It's become huge. And they go and they give kids joy jars when they're at their worst part of their lives. And Kobe Bryant was a big spokesperson for it before he passed away with the Los Angeles Lakers. And the Ducks have been there for NEGU. And they had Eric on the other night. Your mom actually texted me, "You see the guy in the middle?" And it was who's the bald goalie? I can't think of his name off my head. Guy Bear and the girl. And there was Eric's talking about NEGU right in front of him on TV. And I just want to have a shout out to Eric and NEGU. Anybody, if you can help support them, Royally Quacked would commend you. And Eric ended up losing his daughter eventually to cancer. It was one of the saddest memorials I ever went to lose a child. I've been blessed not to lose any of my children yet, and I hope I go before they do, because to me that's the worst thing in the world that could ever happen. But they turned that in. God turned that into a very good thing for people. And I just want to have a shout out to NEGU and Eric Reese from Royally Quacked.
How about we do this? Forever how many downloads we get on this episode, we'll donate $1 to NEGU.
I'm all for it.
So guys, please just tell your family, your friends, anyone to help us help them. If you want to donate, I'll try to put the website in the show notes. Tell your family, friends, and like I said, try to help us get as many downloads as possible for this episode. And I'll try to post if I remember, and I'll definitely try to remember. I'll set a reminder for myself for however many downloads we get on this podcast, we'll donate $1 and we'll send it to NEGU.
Not to just mention that, and that's a great idea, Cody. But you guys can donate too.
Yeah.
So
I'll put the link in the show notes.
perfect.
So yeah, that was for the Hockey Fights Cancer game too.
I know.
Yeah.
They do it. They've done it for quite a few years now.
Yeah.
So.
And the Ducks usually always do a really good job with the Hockey Fights Cancer part.
So I do commend them for that.
Yeah.
It's a great organization. So.
Agreed. So, but that was a good way to, a happy way to get us out of here.
Yeah.
And everything. It's a great story. Like I said, please everyone, the more you guys download this episode, we'll donate that much to the NEGU Foundation. I'm definitely happy to help with that.
Absolutely.
So so please, go follow us on all your podcast platforms, and guys, also please like and subscribe us on YouTube too. That way it helps with the algorithm, that helps us out too. And just please tell your family, friends, workers, everyone, someone that wants to get into hockey, send them our way. Like I said, we also have those what we call the evergreen episodes, where if they don't know much about hockey, we have the Hockey 101 episodes, and they can listen to those. And honestly, if they're so confused, they can message us on Instagram. They can email us at royallyquacked@gmail.com, or my dad's new Royally Quacked one. What is it again?
Gary.royallyquacked@gmail.com.
So like I said, please message us on there. We have a Facebook group too. If you guys want to join, it's free. We also have the Discord, that's also free, and we can all chat on there too. And please, we also have Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Like and follow on all the social media platforms. Follow us and subscribe and download on all your podcast platforms. That would be much appreciated, and it would really help go to a good cause as well.
Yes.
So, you have anything else to add before we get out of here?
I would say, go Kings, go.
All right. Well, you want to say it like you mean it though this time?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm emotional about NEGU.
No, I know. So, all right, let's give it a good one. Go Kings, go one more time, Dad.
Go Kings, go!
All right, let's go Ducks.
See you.
A father and son, a bond so strong, talking hockey all day long. Royally Quacked, their podcast show, sharing stories, highs and lows. From the Kings to the Ducks they go. Shout and go Kings, go! Quack, quack, they cheer. A father and son, their passion sincere on the ice. Their love appears through the highs and lows in the years. The legends of Gretzky, Solana's grace, passing on history in every case. Father teaching son, a legacy shared, a royally quacked their stories end. Face off in life, together they stand. Shout and go Kings, go! Quack, quack, they cheer. A father and son, their passion sincere on the ice. Their love appears through the highs and lows and the years. Let go. The legends of Gretzky, Solana's grace, passing on history in every case. Father teaching son, a legacy shared, on Royally Quacked their stories end. Face off in life, together they stand. Shout and go Ducks, go! Go Kings, go! A father and son, watching the show. Through wins and losses, their spirits grow. On Royally Quacked they steal the show.